Okay, welcome back. I'm going to pick up from where I left off. I do have a minor change of plan. I was going to research the signals and connections off camera, but I thought it might be helpful to see how to work through that and figure that thing out from, coming from Godot 3. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. So we know we have our menu, right? That's where we left off, and we are going to create functionality for this. Now, the goal with the menu system is that we want to make a reusable menu script that we can apply to any menu anywhere within the game, and it's going to have this functionality that's going to make it really helpful and convenient. So, what do we need? Generally, what I do is a connect to buttons function, and then what we do is we get the buttons, which I think that can probably be a function as well. And get buttons is going to return an array, and it's just going to return get children. So we're going to do probably just for button in get buttons. We can connect the button. Now this is where I have to look up the syntax. I think it's something like, oh, hold on, I have a text. They do it like you make the signal, right? So we're going to do signal button pressed. I think. I always like to have focused come before, because if you think logically, generally you're going to be focusing before you press it. So for button and get buttons, we need to do button dot pressed dot connect, I think is how it goes. I can't click on that, so maybe that's not right. Let's just go to Google and do like Godot signals. I don't care about the editor right now. I want through code. Here we go. One sec. We're getting there. Okay, so timer timeout.connect. Oh, I was so close. And then you just put the function in here that we're connecting to. And so it's going to be button pressed. And we're going to send. I gotta look at connect. I don't know why I can't click on that. That's really bugging me there. Maybe it's because button isn't typed. Anyway. Why can't I just find connect? Do I have to do like methods? So string name callable connects a signal by name to a callable. One button down. The callable is the method. Optional flags. What I'm trying to find is how to send an argument through. Self, one button down. Target object and target method name. Okay. Syntax of to bind parameters is callable.bind. So bind, and then I think, let's take a look at bind. You just send through the arc. Okay. I think we got it. So button pressed. It's going to be on button pressed. Right? On button pressed. Might even make this on base button pressed. And we're going to send, it's going to do bind. It's going to be the button. And then we have to make that here. And so it's going to be button, base button. I might just make it button. I don't really care about the base button thing. So we do that. That should fix that error. Yeah. And then what we're going to do is echo that signal up. And so it's going to be button pressed. We send up the button. Now we're going to do the same thing down here. Now, if you followed along with my JRPG series in 3.5, this is all very, very similar. I'm not modifying it much. Like I mentioned, the main thing is how we connect, right? Like that syntax is significantly different. Now we're going to do the same thing, but with button focus. Button. And then we do the callable up here. I'm just going to copy and paste. Now we do focus entered. I think it's what they call it here. Let's see, focus entered. And it's going to be on button focused. Okay. So next, I want to do, just call like focus. Or we do button focus. That's what I do. And so we're going to need an index. And it's going to equal index. We're going to add variable index n equals 0. Yeah, that's right. And down here, it's going to be get buttons dot get child. Oh, is that not a thing now? No, get buttons and dot grab focus. Is that still a thing or not? We can do like var button equals this. So I'm doing that mainly just so we have that reference. And yeah. Later on, I might have to clamp that to the range to make sure we're not sending through an invalid index. Anyway, go back to battle, and we're going to go function ready. And we're going to do options menu dot button focus. I have to save it so we get that autocomplete. So, and we're going to do just 0. Before we do that, we want to connect. So we're going to do options menu dot connect to buttons. I forgot we have to pass through self. Let's go to options. Also, this is named incorrectly, the script. This is actually going to be menu. I gotta say, I'm liking Godot 4. It's it's a little bit different, but it seems like they made a lot of good improvements, and it's running quite well. So anyway, connect the buttons. This is now. This we're actually going to do up in ready. Because that's just for the menu itself. We're going to use a similar format though. We don't need to get the button. what we're going to do is take these now. And I'll kind of walk through what's happening here. Connect, and then it's going to be oh, that's tricky. Because I used to get a callable by string, which I think we can still do. Let me take another look at connect. Callable. Callable. Is there like a way to get callable? Get objects. So I need something that returns a callable. Let's go to trusty Google how to get callable. Godot. Callable equals callable self. Okay, you can make it like that. I will do that. Give that a go. So, callable, and what's so it's going to be we're going to have target node. Actually, it's just going to be object and method string. Oh no, let's do callable. And so we can do, I think we just do that. It's null. So if not callable, then callable equals callable. Let's change this to override. And it'll be if callable override. Value of type to null. We just do callable. If callable override, then it's going to be callable equals target, and no, this needs to be method override. Let's call it name override. Bear with me, I'm figuring this out. Callable equals that if name override. This also needs to be empty. Name. And if name. Sorry, we don't have to do that now. We do the, okay, here we go. Target and name. Now we have the callable, so we're going to put that. It's going to be like this. On plus focused. Let me do this. Callable equals. And bind, we're going to send through, we're actually not going to bind, because that inherently has an argument. Let's see, does that work? Button not declared, yeah. I think we're actually going to do it like this. Just so it's easier to read. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're just we're making the callable for focused, then we're making it for press, but we're just reusing that same callable variable. And just want to make sure that object does have connect. Yes, that's the base. So in battle we call connect the buttons on self. That's going to give us these methods. So we need to do like function on options button focused. It's going to be button base button. I wonder if I shouldn't just do this through the editor. Because then we automatically get these made. So maybe we'll hold off on that method. We will probably use it later. Let's see, the nice thing is we can do this. And these functions already get placed. Now, I think we can type that in the up in here now. That'd be super cool. It's something I really wanted in Godot 3. And so now that I updated that, watch, when we connect button pressed, it should already be typed. Beautiful. I really like that. Really, really like that. So we have our functions. We don't need to call this now. So kind of disregard this connect the buttons for now. But like I said, we are probably going to need to use that, like say if we're creating a menu through code or modifying it after the fact through code. So that works well. And we focus on that. We're going to print, I think when it's pressed. So we'll just do print button.name, or button.text. And so now I can move through the menu, theoretically. I think it is moving. For some reason it's skipping. We're only able to focus on fight and item and magic. That doesn't make sense. Or just fight and item. So why is it skipping? Magic is a button. It could be an issue with how it's handling automatic focus. See, when you don't assign a focus neighbor, it's just going to try and do it automatically. But for some reason, it's going from fight to item. Like logically, there's no explanation for that I can see. So we need to fix our focusing. And you would think that this is something you wouldn't have to worry about, right? Like it should just work as intended. But, you know, these things aren't always that simple. So what I'm going to do is make a custom script where we set those focus neighbors. You might not even have to do this in yours. Maybe it has to do with like the settings of my theme or my font. Because really built in, it shouldn't be an issue. But so let's think about that. We have focus neighbor top and bottom. That's what we're working with a VBox. So here we connect our buttons. Before we even get to that, let's go up here and figure out our focusing. So I think we can do if self is VBox container. That might not work. Let's just see. Yeah, you have to do like get class. Let's figure that out. Get class. Built-in class name as a string is class. Yeah, so that'll work. So if is class VBox. Or no, do if class then we can do if class dot begins with VBox. We do if class dot begins with hbox. If class grid well, I guess we're not really doing anything if it's not that anyway. So up here, let's do set focus neighbors and connect to buttons. That's pretty clear, but we'll comment it anyway. So VBox, let's think about it. We've got these. I gotta check my phone real quick. I'm probably just going to grab the logic from another project. I don't really feel like reinventing the wheel. And so if we go to GUI and menu, it should be right in there. Yeah, we have this kind of messy code right here, but it should work. So I'm actually just going to yank that. And I think we're going to put it in here instead of making it a separate function. I'll keep that comment though. And we're going to use this. Use this on grid containers. Okay, so yeah, we definitely need class up first. I'm just going to be swapping these out. Just a little bit cleaner. If we're lucky, this logic will just be plug and play. Get rid of that. It's nice that to do draws like that by default. Auto wrap. Yes, we need to make that. Let's actually do this at the after we connect. And if not, if clear first. I'm just going to comment that out for now. And bear with me. So that way we can use that return. We're going to do an export var. Oh, sorry, you have to do at be true by default. I'm not getting any errors, so I'm going to assume that that code works. Let's go and test it. Focus neighbor top. Value. Focus neighbor top. Let's see the names here. Okay, so the path is incorrect. Let's see what happens. Oops. It looks like we don't need the get path. You just send through the button now. Let's take a look. So we don't get any errors, then we'll know that's probably wrong. All right, what we need to look at is focus neighbor top. Set focus neighbor. Now you do use node path. It's just maybe you have to use set focus neighbor. No, it looks like we do want the node path. Let's see what's going on. We can see these buttons exist, and we're getting the correct buttons, but for some reason that's not working. Should give focus to, you can change the key. Let's try using the setter. We do dot set focus. They removed the U. That's the problem. They removed the U. That's spelled like we're in America. I'm just going to go back until we get there. So all of these, actually we just need neighbor. It's now going to be neighbor. And then I held Control R to get to replace. Let's see, neighbor. Replace all. Let's run that again. All right, cool. Now you can see they're focusing properly, I think. We might be actually focusing on these other enemies. Yeah, something's not working right. So let's go to debug. We're gonna add another step here. Fine, viewport signals. GUI focus changed. We don't do connect like that. We do GUI change.connect. It's going to be on GUI focus changed. Go down here, make that function for that callable. And this is going to be a control node. You can see right there. Go back. And we're going to print node. I think this will just be like if print focus print current. Do that up here are yeah, we're skipping defend. Or I'm sorry, we're skipping item. That, like, what? Let's see what's going on. Options button 2. So it looks right. Button 4. All right. Button 4. Yours are not getting assigned. Okay, that's an issue. Same there. Okay, interesting. Oh, because it's assuming that the middle ones are going to work fine. And our problem is that they're not. I have a hypothesis that it has to do with our separation. Maybe by offsetting it, it's drawing incorrectly. Yeah, oh my gosh, that was it. You can't have negative separation. Which means we're gonna have to make these just a little bit taller. Let's do like 52. Looks about right. Okay, that's a dumb issue, but we big brain solved it. I'll make a note. I love that those are colored. Note, negative separation values will cause issues with auto. All right, sweet. Now we can go back to debug and turn that off. Really, I think what we want to do is not do that, but if that, oops, if that we connect it, okay? And we can turn off in battle. First off, why are we getting that? Oh, I didn't turn this off. Okay. So I pressed on the button and we seem to have lost focus after that. Okay, when I press right or left, we lose focus. And so I think how I handle that in menu, and I apologize if this is getting a little confusing, but how we handle that is on button focused. We need to get on button focused exited. Yeah, we want that. What's wrong? Just have to make that. What we want to do is check if we're still in the menu. So if get focus, okay, that doesn't work anymore. Need to look up how to get focus owner in Godot 4. Looks like focus is connected to the viewport now, not the controls. You used to be able to just get this through the control, through any control node. So if that in get buttons churn down here, otherwise we're going to do get viewport grab focus GUI. Or do I just do button dot grab focus? So if we try to leave it, we're gonna not allow that to happen, and we're just gonna grab focus on the menu on the same button. So now I'm pressing left and right, and I'm still leaving. So what I think I have to do down here is await. I think the formatting for this changed, but we'll see. Yeah, so let's look up await. Of course, it's not in the search there, so. Oh, that's kind of cool. So it looks like await get tree dot file frame. Is that one? Is it not the same anymore? Guess we'll use process frame. Yeah, that works. That doesn't work. I don't get that. So maybe I have to wait up top here. Might as well do this. So up and down works as intended now. If I do left or right, we can see we stay in there. Now, if you know a better way of doing this, or if you can find a better way of doing it, please let me know. But for whatever reason, if you want to really lock your focus in, you have to do that. Now, I think for all intents and purposes, we should probably treat these as menus. Now, that means a couple things. One, that our menu script has to actually extend control. And two, the auto wrap, we're going to need another clause for the auto wrapping. In fact, this won't work at all because we actually have to manually set how we move through these. For example, it should just be top to down with this one. And then this, I don't know, that one's going to be a little trickier. But if we keep it in kind of an organized state, it'll make sense. All right, so like 1, 2, 3. We maybe have 4, you know, something like that. We can maybe grab those and make it a little more dynamic. And then both of these are going to need menu. Of course, it looks like it doesn't like what's happening there. Menu hides a global, what? Oh, that's why. It's a case sensitivity. So you actually have to do menu. And that seems to have fixed it. Trying to see how to clear on this now. Anyway. Integer division. I hate that error. I'm going to go turn that off. Maybe go to GD script. Integer. Yeah, warn, ignore. Boom. That should go away now. Go, bye. So what we can do, let's get the player data in here. It's going to be a VBox. We want to fill it. And we're going to give it, probably, actually we want a margin container in front of it. So that'll be filled. Then the VBox goes in that margin container. Now in my theme, I'm going to want to set up some default settings for my margin containers. Go to constants, and you can see it defaults at 0. And I actually was just responding to a viewer in the other series where they're questioning why I had my margins already set, and the answer was because I had a theme where I already gave it margins. You can see it defaults to 0. I might just give it like a small amount. That way it's actually doing something by default. Your margin will depend on the resolution that you're working in and how much space you want. I might come back and modify that, but let's see. So if we put some data in here, I think for now these are going to be, let's just get a label and we'll extend it from there. So we'll do like player, right? I really want to know why there's so much like vertical space on that font. It's throwing me off. But so we just have player, we can get that 4 times. For whatever reason, the separation is not aligning with that. It might just be those 2 pixels of the margin container. I don't know. Let me look at my font, which is, okay, it looks like it's that. We're not using that, are we? We're just using toy. So, Yeah, I don't really know why it's getting all that extra stuff. Select that each of this might. I don't really extra spacing. Is that what I need? Oh, okay. Base font. Do I load toy? Or does it use it by default? Whatever. So if I do top, like -4, does that do anything? Do I have to load in toy? Let's see. Oh, because we're not using it. We actually have to make that default font. That's going to be our, do this. Is it really not? Where was that? Common? Here we go. So now we're going to load in. If we go up with that default font, I have to save and restart. And we should see those changes since we're using the default font. And that should clean up our spacing. Holy cow, it looks like crap. What in the hell happened? Let's take a look. Oh, default font doesn't have anything? Oh, we have to give it, yeah, toy now. Oh, what's going on here? There we go. I go to extra spacing. I think it's running slow because it's updating it everywhere in the game, maybe. Yeah, so this can maybe. Oh man, that is slow. But this looks right. Then, like, why we want that is we can go to the our theme, and our V box is going to make more sense having separation. All right, so we can do like 4, and here we can just center it. I might even make that by default. Maybe not. Center. And back to the theme. We're going to go to our margin container. Just bump that out. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Dude. What the Sorry. Hopefully the video is still going. Let's see. Yeah, looks good. What do you think of that watermark? You know why I had to put that on there? I had people hitting me up. Well, no, I had a person hitting me up trying to take my videos and put them on a different platform and like credit themselves, but then put me as a credit for making them. Like, what the? Why would I want that? That's so dumb. Uh, anyway, so I put a watermark to make it, more clear that they're ripping it if they are. Now we have that. I think we actually want more on the margin container. So do 8 on the sides, 4 on the tops. That looks pretty good. And basically what needs to happen is we need to get all that data. And right now I'm thinking in my head, well, do I want this, like each of these player info bars to be a scene that we can instance, or do I just want to have columns of this data? So I'm trying to think of like updating that. All right, when you update it, you're probably just going to want to send the player through to that and have it all be connected and communicating. So I think these will turn into that. So we're going to do an HBox in here, and we'll start piecing it together. So that's going to be the name. I'll call this like player or battle player bar. We're going to have name. We're going to have health. And probably want MP, but right now let's just worry about health. And then we're going to throw in a progress bar. And I usually use a texture progress bar. That gives me more control over how I draw it. Now, they might have improved things, but yeah, let's take a look at the default progress bar. Let's just see what's going on. Oops, I wanted to do, yeah. So we can see it's like very tight. There isn't much spacing there. So I want to look at my theme for the HBox. And so separation is 4. I mean, that's probably all right. Let's try 8. And we're going to go back to theme and look up the progress bar. And let's just see if we can modify it without adding in a texture bar. So font color, outline color, that's fine. Font size. So we mainly need to modify this background and fill. So these are flat colors. For some reason, I can't just open that. I'm used to being able to opening that. Oh, now I can see the default font up here. Go figure. So I think we're gonna, oh, because I see. We have to make a new one. So for now, let's just do flat. And that way I have control over the color. And can I make this default to extending out? No, so we're just gonna do layout, container sizing. We want that expand. And then we're also going to have to add that to this HBox. So layout, theme overrides, not that, sorry. Layout, container size, expand. Hello, why are you not expanded? I don't want vertical expand, I just want horizontal. Weird. Well, what we can do, it's not the end of the world. We might as well turn that off. And we can go to our minimum size. Also, let's give health. And progress bar, let's turn that down. That's a little bit excessive. And health does not need that. There we go. I don't know why it's pushing it over. For some reason that got messed up. What? What the hell? What? Why is it? Is it the minimum size or something? Why is it going out so much? Seems that the progress bar is messing it up. I think I might have an idea. So I didn't set a box for this one. I do that. Now it's still expanding out. Anyway, here we can set the color. Like yellow. And just do like that. Maybe change that yellow. Now, for some reason, this pushes everything over. I don't know, that's a new one for me. What? Okay. Like, why can't I expand that? What the What am I missing? Regardless, let's do that. Get rid of these. Duplicate that. Now I just really need to figure out why that's drawing like that. What? I mean, do I just have to like really half-ass it? No, I'm not gonna do fill on that, but we're gonna do like this. That's too much. We want to shrink center so it's right in the middle. Margin container, right? Okay. Oh, maybe my margin right got messed up. Yeah, that's the problem right there. Duh. Oh my gosh. Goofy. So go back to that. Now we're talking. And so let's look at that. Let's get health. This will be mana. Yeah, looks good. And I think we're just gonna override that. Try 12. That's a little bit too much. Let's just go back to how we had it. I think it's pretty nice. All right, so you can see it coming together. Be nice if I knew how to clear this. What's this? Oh, okay. See, to me that looks like paste. But it makes sense, you can't paste it down there anyway. And that's nice, you can search through the messages. Wow, okay. All right, now bottom I want to be in a margin container as well. It's going to be at the very top. Just going to plop that in there. It's going to mess it up for a second. Don't worry, we'll fix it. So bottom, we got to fix their size flags. We don't want vertical fill. We want shrink end. So that puts it down at the bottom. Now options can also go in that. We're going to again update the container sizing, shrink end, and we also want custom. We don't want any kind of modification there. I think actually we have to just take that out of the margin container. So that can be down here. Enemies and players are going to be drawn behind that, but over the background. And then options, we're just going to manually slide over. I'm holding shift to keep it on that line. That looks pretty good. Now enemies, we can just do a placeholder, not for the enemies, but in the bottom info. We'll call this like just margin or GUI margin. So bottom enemies. Let's just for now copy that from the players. We're going to paste that in. We're going to delete all of those. And so all we really need here are labels. That's going to say like enemy. And we do something like that. Maybe I'll delete one, make it a little bit asymmetrical. We don't want that one centered. We want that to be begin. So it starts from the top. Since we're using that, it's not lining up with our margin here. Let me double check that. We're not using that. Let me look at the theme. Top. No, because then that pushes that down. We don't want that. I guess I can just override. Why is this pushed down more? See, I don't get why these line up fine, but then if I go to enemies, they're also in a margin container, but they don't get pushed down as much. Now watch this. This is the top of that V box for players. If we go to enemies, it's in the same spot, but enemies are drawing higher. And it's the same thing with buttons. Like buttons are aligned. Watch, I'll put to the top of that. See how those are aligned? When we do labels, they're not. Let's see what's in there. I guess I can just override it. It's kind of annoying, but what can you do? We'll cross that bridge later. So I think I'll get rid of that one. We'll keep this one. And this, I do have to fix my size flag there. Shrink center. And then options we have to fix because it was based on incorrect data. Boom. Let's take a look. So we have our layout going. We're getting pretty close to animating these, and I think before I do that, I want to make a cursor. So I'm going to drag in some cursor art, which I think is going to be in here. Now you can grab whatever kind of cursor you want. Sheet, cursor. I think it's this one. I'm just using that. I took, I think it was like a copyright free, or maybe it had some kind of copyright, but then I modified it to make it a little more original. I mean, you could do something as simple as going to your image editor of choice and, you know, show, oh, not the circle tool, you know, just like, right? Beautiful. Or you could do a couple lines, something like that. I mean, you want it centered, like that. There's even a polygon tool, I think. But yeah, a lot of ways to skin that cat. Kind of do it, you know, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Make a cursor that speaks to you. I'm using the hand, and yes, we're going to make a new user interface. We'll call this just cursor, I think. Maybe menu cursor. And I think all it needs is it's going to be a texture rect. And then we can drag that image up. We don't want it scaling like that. Just keep. You can see how small that is. When we go up there, that's what she said. I'm kidding. So we get the menu cursor. Let's save that. I'm gonna give it a script. I really want to know how to make that the default. Like, can I just do empty or whatever? And I think we'll just do one cursor for now. And what we'll do is have it follow the GUI focus. So let's take a look at debug. We're going to yank that and go to menu cursor. So we connect that. It's going to be node control. All right. Target. It's going to be a node equals null. And we're going to do if node is base button target equals node. Else hide. We also want to show and set no, we're not setting. Yeah, we do need set process. Sorry. True up and ready. Process false. Function process. We're gonna need an offset. I don't really know offhand what this is going to be, but it's going to be something like -8, 4. And processing is going to be position equals, or global position equals target global position. We also can do set process false. Plus offset. I actually have to put it into the scene. And I'm just going to put it in the top. And maybe I will stage it there. We'll see if it works. So it does work. It's just our offset is incorrect. So if we go to the menu cursor and let's try that as 0, and I think probably like -4. And then it's a little bit closer. We're going to do -2 on the Y. That's pretty good. Now, one issue is that you see how it's moving perfectly up and down? I don't think I want that. I think we want these buttons to expand, or not expand, rather. And so if we select all of our options, and we go to their layout, container sizing, horizontal, we don't want fill, we want shrink center. Now watch what happens. Okay, that's incorrect now. Just have to modify that. Whoops. Closer. -20. That's what I want. See how now it's kind of it's always dependent on the width of that button. I think that looks better. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. It's easy enough to change it back to how we had it before, but I think this is a bit better. Maybe not. Anyway, fight magic, item, defend. Okay, that's incorrect. So we're losing focus. Oh man, this is pretty funny. I'm not sure. Like, how's that have so many targets there? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Inget buttons. Weird. What if I just try getting rid of that code for now? Let's see if it works without the cursor. No, so it was broken before. I don't know what broke it, but maybe we don't want the yield now? I do want that. we're going to modify that. So if you look at, there should be like a focus mode. Yeah, mode. So if we just toggle that on and off based on what menu we're in, we'll be Gucci. Maybe we do connect the buttons. Button focus. Maybe before we do that, we do function button set focus mode. And can I do like, can I do that? That'd be so cool. I love it. Yes, that's really nice. I don't think you could do that in Godot 3. So that'll give us autocomplete on focus modes, and then we just do for button in get buttons. Button dot set focus mode. That works. Yeah, focus none, click all. Or even better, button enable focus on. Cool. So we'll do bar mode, focus mode equals focus mode dot. Button enable focus. Button focus exited. I'm going to do button enable focus false. I think that's the way to go there. So anytime we're leaving the menu, we're going to disable focus on it. So we shouldn't be able to leave it now. I stand corrected. We have to disable focus in the beginning. There we go. Well, that broke. So let's see what happened there. I don't know why it's breaking there. Oh, I know why. On that exited, we have to check the if button in get buttons. And, or, no, sorry, it's going to be, we take this. So it's a similar thing we're doing here, just with a different method. It is, oh, do I have it backwards? We have to do that, wait. If not, so if the focus owner is not one of our buttons, we want to make sure we're not able to focus back. Right? All right, that seems to help. Cool. All right, debug, turn that off. Coolio, done. Coolio. Menu cursor's working. So now, like, we can do something like match button.text. And so we do fight. And if we're fighting, we can do, we go up to enemies and get a reference to that. Enemies menu. And we just grab that. That's the wrong one. Sorry. We actually want this. And then we can do enemies menu dot button focus. I think that'll just save that. Now we also need to save index in menu. So anytime it's button focused, we're going to do index equals button dot get index. And we don't have any way of moving through these. I stand corrected. I tell you, the auto focus actually works pretty well. It's not terrible. Now, if we press back, we want to go back to the options menu. And so battle will handle that input, unhandled input. So we do if event dot is action pressed. Are these the same? They are. Cool. Then we want to go, let's see. We need a way to check what menu we're in. We could try this, like enum states and option target. Running. No, that's fine. Options and targets. So state and or actually we do states, right? And state will equal targets. Then up here we can check state to handle what happens. So do like match state. So options we pass. Sorry, I do pass states dot targets. We're gonna do state equals states dot options. And we'll do button options menu dot button focus. So I press fight, we go over here. I'm gonna press cancel. It takes us back. Alright, so that's the beginning of our targeting. Now we can start thinking about, like, when does this option menu pop up, right? Whenever a player is active. And I think I'm going to pause there. And when we come back, what we'll do is we'll set up randomizing the initial values for all these progress bars. And then when any time one of these pops, it finishes, right? We're going to animate it and then pop open the option menu. Or we'll add them to an event queue to choose who acts. And then we'll have the action queue, right? And sorry, I misspoke. We're going to have an ATB queue, which is going to be a list of whoever's ready in the order that they became ready. And we'll have the event queue, which is where we send all of the actions that we select, plus the enemy actions. And so the enemies are going to have these ATB bars. Let's just call it ATB. Active time battle bar, right? So we'll want to, I think, probably save that as a scene as well. And then we're going to go to enemy and give them that ATB. And just kind of manually position it, I guess, below. And we're going to give them a script, which they're probably going to share a parent with the player battle thing. But for now, just do that, function ready. At on ready bar, ATB bar. Let's give that a script as well. Battle equals ATB bar. What we'll do is just hide that by default. And that way, like for debugging, we can show it. In fact, maybe we will just show it from now. That way we know what's happening. And whoa, cat, chill. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. We'll come back and we'll get some ATB action. All right, I'll see you next time. Let me know if you have any questions, etc., etc. See you next time.